Cup as well. So it really is a big game.
No, it definitely is, you know. It's a different type of team that we're used to, and prepares us going forward. So it'll be a challenge and a test for players. And we want these big games so that we can really test our players to be ready for the World Cup. And you know, we said to them to go out there, you know, really enjoy themselves, but put into practice what we've planned the whole week.
All the best, Coach.
Thank you.
So you take a look at that lineup, as the coach said, fine-tuning that final squad, but she's got so much experienced individuals to choose from.
Yeah, I think the tried and tested, and it's good also to see Andile Dlamini given an opportunity, whom I think over the years has been part of the squad but never really got an opportunity to start. But I think the likes of Notando Vilagazi, Janine van Veek, always quite solid at the back in defense, and of course Mbani. But I think interesting is to see the likes of Linda Mutalo, their creativity in the central midfield, but also with Umamelo Makabadi, who I think is always just the stronghold in that midfield, trying to stabilize Banyana. So I think it's one team that has been through I think all the tournaments, but you would want to see new talents and new faces. But of course this indicates that this is probably the 11 or the starting squad that coach might have to test in the World Cup.
It's also a balancing act, isn't it? It's a very fine balance that needs to be struck between the experienced campaigners and some of the new faces that are coming into the fore.
Yeah, no, because the intensity is quite high. So the new faces that are coming in came in at the right time, or maybe at a very interesting time where you qualify for World Cup. So you have to make sure that the intensity is at its high. So for them to catch up with the rest of the teammates that have been through all the Cyprus tournaments, through all the Olympic Games, it's going to take a while. But of course they have to get the experience of the World Cup so that the continuation is there.
Let's talk about the Reggae Girlz. Now, they're one of the top sides in the Caribbean when it comes to women's football. An interesting journey for them getting to this stage in their career for the Reggae Girlz, because this side, it was disbanded. The program of developing women's football was disbanded back in 2008. They got back to getting the program going in 2014 after a 6-year hiatus. And the kind of progress that they've made is quite astounding to find themselves now qualifying for their very first FIFA Women's World Cup. A lot of excitement as well from their side, and the coach Menzies is really looking forward to the girls making a great account of themselves this afternoon. Coach, welcome to South Africa. How do the Reggae Girlz feel about being here ahead of such a big game?
Hey, it's such a wonderful host. South Africa has been, I think the weather now has come to play for us. The fans are unbelievable, which what we expected. Obviously, it's their farewell game, so we feel that they're a little bit upbeat for it. So we're going to try to capitalize a little bit on the aggression.
Something that's extra special about this match is that you're coming up against a side that knows exactly how you feel, qualifying for the first time for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Same thing for Banyana. So it's a very special game. And you think that you'll be able to get a proper gauge of the kind of competition you can expect out in France in today's game?
Well, there's a reason why we're playing South Africa. They played similar opponents that we're going to play in the World Cup, so we wanted to play them. They have a similar athletic style that we want to match up against. But, you know, obviously being debutants coming into the biggest stage of the game, we feel like, you know, that this is a great opportunity for us to get a gauge and a barometer of where we need to be at this moment. And we still have a couple more games to go, but we're still in the process of evaluating players. So we brought a group of players that we have to get locked in on.
We're looking forward to see you in action today. All the best.
Hey, thank you.
So the coach saying they're in a similar situation as South Africa, where they're still trying to give some of those fringe individuals an opportunity to ply their trade. A vast majority of these players are playing in the lower leagues out in the United States, but they do have some international experience as well. As we take a look at their lineup today, the likes of Asha, for example, who plies her trade out in Norway.
Yeah, no, and I think one of the, most valuable players in the team, number 11, Khatija Shaw, and of course Denisha Blackwood. I think those two players are quite key in terms of their structure and just the general game plan of Jamaica. They're always planning how it is that they're going to attack around those two individuals, and just amongst the two, and of course Brown, who is absent today, have scored almost 16 goals in the qualifiers, and I think it just goes to show that they're always trying to work one consistent starting 11 or team that will really try and help them and get the necessary results.
It's interesting that Coach Menzies is saying that these are two sides that are very well matched, the athleticism of the players, and also the physicality when it comes to the structure and how it is that both sides play.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing that has always been emphasizing throughout the whole week is that we're going to be able to match them in terms of pound to pound, in terms of the physical aspect of the game, but then it all boils down to the strategic planning of both coaches as to how it is that they're going to overcome or win this encounter, and I think that's quite important for Coach Desri, who I think will want to win this send-off match, but also I think it will give them a good motivational boost in terms of what it is that they've been working throughout the whole week.
Another motivational boost is going to be the fans. Luckily making their way here. There's a sizable amount already in the venue. I think it's important to stress that tickets were free. So this was a gift from Banyana to the fans to say, come on out and bid us farewell.
Yeah, and it's also good to see the Cecil League teams that are out here to support some of their role models, but also just to draw inspiration as to what it is that Banyana has achieved, because this is something big for women's football, and this is just the beginning of what is yet to come. And if it is that Cecil really can give such a big present to Banyana, and of course the fans inviting them to come out and support the ladies, it's fitting for Banyana to come up with a solid victory, but of course it won't be easy, hence we're going to need the 12th man to win.
I mean, one thing that you've spoken out about is that when it comes to South African football, we're very results-driven.
Yeah.
Now you've got a side where, for the longest time, we were talking about progress that has been made. You saw the ladies, of course, performing at the Olympic Games. So the experience that you garnered as well from the national side to come this far. This is tangible proof of the kind of giant leaps and strides that have been taken and made when it comes to women's football here.
But also just the ability of the players themselves. I think we have good quality, we have proper talent in South Africa, but it doesn't make sense that we go to the Olympics, the World Cup, and come back to a domestic league that is not professionalized. We need more competitiveness. So I think that's where it counts the most, to say that the ladies have qualified for the World Cup. How do we maintain the consistency? How do we maintain the intensity? And I think that's quite important for the girls today.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to that local league that is going to be kicking off later on this year. So great excitement when it comes to national women's football in particular, and we're sure that the girls are going to make us very, very proud. Let's talk about the conditions. I know there were a few concerns in terms of the pitch, but it's been raining heavily throughout the week, hasn't it?
It has been raining heavily throughout the week, but also there was a concert, Yamaskandi,
right.
And I think maybe it could have affected the pitch, but it's not that bad.
It's playable.
It's playable, so we're hoping that I think the conditions will really suit both teams at the end of the day.
And the Jamaicans are loving the weather as well.
Yeah, well, it's tropical for them. They're at home, and I think that's what they need, I guess, the motivation. It will be interesting to see how it is that they convert also the fans to go on their side, but also just to capitalize maybe on the instability of Banyana. If it is that they get carried away by the crowd, and it's important that they really are humble and just focus on the job at hand.
Yeah, we know that all of you are so excited. You're sending your messages of support as well to Banyana. Continue to do that. We know you're following us at Supersport TV, and also tag or hashtag Banyana to say, ladies, go out there and make us proud. They have already, and now that job continues. How difficult do you think this match is going to be for them, and what do you think the final outcome is going to be?
I think we can only make this game difficult for ourselves if it is that we don't take charge of the game the first whistle. And I think if it is that we're just complacent and in our elements, we'd be able to allow them to really come in and get the confidence. So I think if it is that at the goal, we just go for them and really try to get as much goals as we can to give the opportunity to the bench players as well. I think Nompumelelo Nyandin is on 149 today. If it is that things go well, she can get 150 at cap. And of course for Jamaica, they'll always try to impose themselves, and really it will be interesting to see how it is that they cope with these conditions on the pitch.
Yeah, you've been with Banyana throughout this past week. What's the general mood like amongst the ladies?
I think the most exciting thing about them is just that they feel happy that they're in Durban, change of scenery, and I think that's more energy that they need to come out and play. And bidding them farewell in Durban, I think has been the best thing, because they all love to come out and play in Durban, Cape Town, everywhere, but it also gives an opportunity for everyone to see Banyana playing, and I think that's something very positive for the team.
Oh, what's been wonderful as well is that amongst the fans, there's a little cheer leading group that's been assembled, made up of all of the usual faces that you see in the rafters whenever it comes to big matches. They've dubbed themselves the Banyana fan club, as it were, and they were out here dancing and singing and showing their support for the ladies in their national team regalia as well. We know that come kickoff, and as the game continues, we're going to see so many more fans out in the stands, because they're slowly making their way in here. Almost time for kickoff, and listen to the excitement, Amanda.
This is exciting, just the general appreciation of the fans for the players, and I think the players should really go out there and do it for themselves, but of course for all the thousands of fans that have come out to bid them farewell.
Oh man, thousands of fans that are coming to bid them farewell here at the Moses Mapida Stadium, and scores more that are watching live on your World of Champions. We've come here to the venue with a great commentary team as well. Dwayne DeLocca is in English commentary. We've got Arnold Rankoko as well as Veli Kumalo in Zulu commentary. So enjoy the game. Almost time for kickoff.
Well, hello and welcome to Durban. We are in eThekwini for today's international friendly as South Africa bid goodbye to their country in what is their final match in South Africa on home soil ahead of their trip to the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. So, having already faced rigorous European opposition against the Netherlands and Sweden earlier this year, and indeed a slightly more difficult set of opponents at the Cyprus Women's Cup earlier this year, South Africa now preparing for this match that'll be their last on home soil against a very physical Jamaican team who are also set to have their maiden appearance at a FIFA Women's World Cup becoming the first team from the Caribbean to qualify for the Global Spectacular. It is Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. For the first time, Banyana playing in the Moses Mabhida Stadium, this magnificent venue that served as one of the venues for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. A host of dignitaries in attendance for today's international friendly before the national anthems are sung with gusto by the respective teams. Michael Ricketts, the president of the Jamaican Football Association, Dr. Danny Jordan, the South African Football Association president, CASAFA President Philip Chinyangwa is here. Cindy Mokgetsi from Sasol, Senior Vice President of Corporate Affairs. Also in the dignitaries, Natasha Chiklis, who serves as a representative from the Confederation of African Football. Sam Ramsamy, who's been involved in South African sport across a number of sporting codes over the years and is still very highly involved with both the Olympic Games, the IOC, and indeed World Swimming. Janine van Wyk, 161 international caps already for the national team captain as the dignitaries are introduced to Jamaica first. And now Banyana, the South African national team. Fula Jane is among those who has 100 international caps to her credit. The meet and greet for a few who are less familiar with the pre-match formalities. Also good to see Sarai Baraman, former Samoa international. She finds herself now as one of the top people in women's football at FIFA. She's the chief women's football officer and she's accompanying the FIFA Women's World Cup trophy. There she is with a flower in, over her ear. She's in charge of this Women's World Cup trophy tour. 14th stop of 24 before the trophy returns to France ahead of the FIFA Women's World Cup, which gets underway in June, July. Portia Modisa and Mark Fish are among the ambassadors who are here. And Stuart Baxter, the men's national team coach, is also in attendance for today's tie, having successfully seen his side qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, here's a message of support for Caster Semenya.
Of the United Nations Human Rights Council, that sporting bodies must refrain from policies and practices that coerce women and girl athletes into undergoing harmful medical procedures in order to participate in women's events in competitive sports, as these are a violation of international human rights norms and standards. We therefore make a call to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to do the right thing and recognize that no rules, regulations, nor practices should supersede a right to bodily integrity and the natural talent in sport. Naturally superior.
Jermaine Sipasenwe, star striker for Banyana, reading a message of support for Caster Semenya, who's embroiled in a battle with the IAAF, governing body of world athletics, in the case that's gone to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Now for the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of South Africa.
in hand, the Banyana players, as they sing the national anthem with pride in what is their final international match on home soil before departing to play friendlies in the United States and fine-tune their preparations ahead of a maiden appearance at a FIFA Women's World Cup. An opportunity as well for Jamaica to fine-tune their own preparations as they begin their build-up to a first ever FIFA Women's World Cup appearance. Let's see how these sides then line up. Well, a slight changes to Banyana's lineup from recent internationals, as South Africa sees Janine van Wyk back in the squad following injury. Leandro Smira gets a start in midfield, and Jermaine Siopasingwe replaces current CAF Women's Player of the Year Thembi Kgatlana in the starting lineup up front in a striker's role. An opportunity for Desiree Ellis, the coach of this Banyana side, to see a few players progress following the Cyprus Women's Cup as well, and friendlies against giant European nations, Netherlands and Sweden. For Jamaica, an opportunity as well for a few young players, and indeed for a player like Lauren Jackson, only a second international, and Shakira Duncan, recalled to the national team for the first time in nearly 4 years. But watch out for the number 11, Bunny Shaw, nearly 6 foot tall, a star striker, and has more international goals than caps. Somebody who is well impressive. She's not only signed a major sponsorship deal this week, she's also been receiving club offers from all over Europe, most notably from France. Today's match official, a referee from Mauritius, Maria Rivet. She'll be in the middle of the park. 2 assistant referees, one from Mauritius, one from Madagascar. South Africa's Lindiwe Twala, one of only 2 South African FIFA accredited referees. We have 4 accredited assistant referees, is serving as today's 4th official. Now, fans still making their way into the venue ahead of the start of this historic international, as Banyana play in Durban's Moses Mabhida Stadium for the very first time. And there's Janine van Wyk, earning her 162nd international cap today. She's among the most capped African players of all time, male or female. She's still got 25 odd caps to gain to surpass the great Egyptian male international Ahmed Hassan in terms of all-time caps, but she is right up there, most capped African player, female player of all time, having earned her 150th against Malawi in the 2018 CASAFA Cup. Well, the referee is trying to encourage the players to gather closer and into their formations as Jamaica break from their huddle and get set to line up. That's Alison Swaby, one of the handful of US-born players of Jamaican parents. Her sister, younger sister, is actually in the squad as well. And it's referee Rivet of Mauritius waits the start of this tie. The team's now lining up. A quick head count has been conducted and waits for the signal from 4th official. Maria Rivet, 35-year-old referee from Mauritius, officially gets this international friendly underway at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. It is South Africa's farewell ahead of their historic first participation at a FIFA Women's World Cup. And indeed, a first ever international meeting between these 2 countries. As 2 sides battle for superiority in this tie. 2 countries set to make their respective FIFA Women's World Cup debuts in France. Some early touches from Jamaica. Marlo Switman working the ball back towards her defence. Alison Swaby, she's the player whose younger sister is also in the squad, sits on the bench today. Dominic Bond-Flusher playing out wide. Back to Switman in the middle of the park. But alongside me for this international friendly is someone who has not only worn the colours of Banyana, but indeed qualified South Africa for their first ever participation at an Olympic Games. Amanda Dlamini is alongside for today's historic international friendly. Amanda, what are your quick overview on what you expect today?
I think it's going to be a very tough encounter, of course, and I think it's just an opportunity for both teams to really test themselves as to what it is that they are capable of doing, and whether what they've been doing throughout the whole week is going to be implemented. That's a question we're yet to see.
Tanisha Blackwood looking to work that ball down the line. It's the path of Shakira Duncan. Ball straying a little wider than she expected. Janine van Wyk under a little pressure here from the Very strong and physically imposing Bunny Shaw, but Van Wyk happy to show her confidence on the ball, and South Africa looking to run the ball out of their danger area, confident enough to do so, although a little trouble here for Ramalepe, and Van Wyk takes no chances. Ball forward. Gathered in the middle of the path by a retreating Mutlalo, somebody who was a star performer at junior level for South Africa, undoubtedly, and really achieved for South Africa's under-20 side in years gone by. Still, remarkably, only 20 years old. Vilarazi sending ball forward towards Refilo Jane, one of a handful of players in this Banyana lineup with over a century of international caps. Smuda can't get on the end of this one, and Laura Jackson has possession back. Only her second international, Laura Jackson. Born in England to a Jamaican mother and an English father. Backward with an attempt to work that ball away from danger area, but good pressure though from Rodang Muluudzi down the right flank. Van Wyk has possession on the halfway line, going back into central defence, and Barnett seeing the ball out wide. So South Africa and Jamaica perhaps feeling each other out in the opening minutes of this tie. Jamaica, first Caribbean side ever to qualify for a FIFA Women's World Cup. They have achieved against the odds 5 years ago. They were nothing but a memory. They were a side that was disbanded. They managed to regather themselves with some help along the way, courtesy of the Marley family. Bob Marley, the great singer from Jamaica, his daughter involved, the Bob Marley Foundation involved. They managed to refinance the women's team, whose funding was completely cut by the Jamaican Football Federation.
And quite interesting enough, Dwayne, their league also, I think 14 years now has been operated and under sponsor.
Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the JFF's coverage of the friendly international between the Reggae Girlz and South Africa. We're in minute number 5 at the moment, still 0-0 between the South Africans, they call them Banyana, and the Jamaica Senior Girls, the Reggae Girlz. Both teams are trying to prepare themselves for the World Cup, which gets underway in the summer. I'm Neil Oxford. I'll carry you through this game this morning. And along with me is Richard Henry. Richard, we've seen 5 minutes of this matchup so far. Your thoughts on what we'd have witnessed in the opening 5 minutes?
The Jamaican team looked composed, compact, just trying to understand what it is that the South Africans would be trying to do. And I think the South Africans likewise. So I think we're almost an evenly matched team, number 49, so the South Africans, and the Jamaicans at number 53 ranked. So I think we're going to be in for a fairly even game.
The Jamaica team, the coach going for Nicole McClure in goal, Kanoya Plummer, she wears number 5, Shinleu Asher, number 7, Marla Sweatman, number 9, Shakira Duncan, number 10, Khadija Bunny Shaw, number 11, Sashana Campbell, number 12, Denisha Blackwood, number 14, Dominic Bonaflaza, number 16, Alison Swaby, number 17, Laura Jackson, number 26. Richard, the Jamaica team will be looking or depending heavily over the next couple months on the lady up front, Khadija Shaw.
Yeah, certainly, and that's both, I think, good and bad. We know her abilities, and we know that she can take players on and dismiss them and be able to put us in good positions. But if teams figure that out pretty quickly, then we become very predictive. And so we would want some other attacking players to be able to cause some distractions as well.
If we look at the venue, a lovely stadium in South Africa, I understand that it was free for admission for this game. It's the last game for the South Africans before their last home game. I know they have another friendly before the World Cup. Also, the Jamaicans, if I remember correctly, they play Scotland in their last friendly before heading to the World Cup. Richard, the Jamaicans, they have been drawn alongside the likes of Italy, the likes of Brazil, and the likes of Australia in their group? Is it a group that you think the Jamaicans will be able to do something special?
Well, we have all the opportunity to do something special in that group because two top 10 ranked teams and number 15 in Spain. It's going to be a very difficult group. Jamaica being the least ranked team, but we have nothing to lose. And so if you look at it from that perspective, I hope the other teams do not underestimate us because they could be in for a lot of trouble.
South Africa, they are on possession. We've seen just around 8 minutes, not that much goalmouth action to speak about. If I have been watching the game correctly, Richard, you'd have said that the Jamaicans have shown more promise attacking than the South Africans.
Yeah, I mean, there was a ball that came across the top, caused some difficulty, actually beat the goalkeeper going across the goal. But like I said, I think it's going to be an even match. And as I said, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. And I think the team that shows a little bit more offensive aggression is going to be able to go with a goal soon.
South African possession with Ramphele. She plays the ball inside to Milzudi. Back to Ramphele. South Africa trying to go forward with possession. Here is Milzudi. She goes across the midfield area of the park, plays it back to her holding midfielder, who seems to be Simida. South Africa still have possession now through their number 10, Matiado. Just toying with the Jamaican defenders is this South African team. Lovely sunshine over there in South Africa, Richard, but there is a lovely shadow for the players on the park.
I'm sure the players will be appreciative of that. Be able to keep your energy levels up. But South Africa, I think, going now for some possession of the ball. And the Jamaican team just quite happy to sit back and keep the marking correct and hope that any penetrative move by the South Africans will be counteracted.
I heard the coach before the game mentioning that he's a bit surprised with the climate in South Africa and the climate forming or falling right in the hands of the Jamaicans.
Yeah, I guess it's the type of weather that we would have been accustomed to. But we do have some players who play in Europe, and the weather may be a little bit different there. But let's see what happens for the rest of the game. I like the patience that the Jamaican team is showing. However, there'll come a point where we need to be able to drive the ball forward. Let's hope that our midfielders are up for the task.
Here is Khadija Shaw. She tries to get by her defender. The ball is intercepted by Banyana. Banyana goes back to the goalkeeper, Delamani. She plays it out to Van Wyk. Janie Van Wyk, Richard, the veteran for South Africa. She's the oldest individual on the team also. A very young South African team put together by their coach. When you look at their ages, I think there is even somebody there born in 1998, if I'm correct.
There's someone there born in 2001. They have an 18-year-old in their lineup. And so I think that the experience in this South African team should be able to help them in the World Cup. They're also in a very tough group. And so they're going to come up against Germany, I believe. And Germany's ranked number 2. So let's see how that works out for them. But both teams need to use this game well. Gain some experience, preparation, look at your systems of play as you get ready for the FIFA Women's World Cup.
I'm glad you mentioned the World Cup, Richard. We've noticed that since the start of the Jamaican team being involved in the World Cup, has female football grown somewhat in the country?
The vibe has grown. There's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of creating a league for these girls. And especially for the girls at the younger age group level, that needs to be dealt with. The young ladies need to come into football much earlier to be able to gain the fundamentals.
Goal kick for South Africa taken. South Africa trying to pass the ball from out of the back. I think they're playing with 3 central defenders around there. Here they are trying to still come out from the back. It's intercepted by Jamaica, but they give away possession. Here is South Africa dribbling across the 18-yard area. Was their number 3, Vilazaki. Ball goes into touch. It is a throw-in for Jamaica, just in line with the 18-yard area of the South African goal area.
Good sign for Jamaica. Put some pressure on the South African defenders, and they may just give you the ball.
Blackwood takes a throw and finds Khadija Shaw. She tries to play it inside. Inside is where she should have been. It goes into the keeper's grasp. She clears it easily. South Africa on the move yet again. They're on the counter-attack. 3 passes since the drop kick by the goalkeeper, and they've met the 18-yard area of Jamaica, squared inside, then cleared by Kanoya Plummer. Ball now to Asha. Here is Asha. Has made the midfield somewhat her own since the start of the game. She plays it across to Blackwood. Blackwood goes back to her captain Plummer. Plummer finds Jackson. Jackson finds Marla Sweatman. Here is Sweatman again. Plays the ball all the way home to Nicole McClure. Here is Plummer. Plummer plays it up, looking for, I think she was looking for Sasha Campbell. A hard tackle there. It comes back to Khadija Shaw. Here is Shaw. Trying to get by her defender is Khadija Bunny Shaw. She shoots from, was that a shot or a square, Richard?
I'm not sure. I think she was trying to pass that ball inside. She's being hounded by the South African number 5, who seems to have defensive responsibilities for Khadija Shaw when she comes into that attacking zone for Jamaica.
Goal kick taken by the South Africans. The South African team, Richard, looks to be a bit comfortable playing the ball around the defensive area of the park.
Yes, but I think when they're pressured, they tend to make mistakes. And of course, one of the things we can already say that at the World Cup, the pace of the game will be a little bit quicker than this is. And so you won't have the luxury of knocking the ball around.
Shaw has been.
You're going to have attackers in your face, and you're going to have to make quick decisions about playing out of the back.
Ball played up by Van Wyk, intercepted by Jamaica. Clever backheel pass by Sasha Duncan, Shakira Duncan. Unluckily for her, it goes into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa. 15 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0 between Banyana and the Reggae Girlz. So far, Richard, 15 minutes. Who would you have given the first quarter of the match to?
Jamaica would have gotten the only attempt on goal, and so I would give Jamaica the edge. Still very early days, and I think both teams are going more for possession of the ball and being patient. Let's hope that they up the tempo of the game and really begin to make some penetrative moves, not just possess the ball around the defensive third especially, but begin to use the attacking midfielders.
Mulizudi is still on the turf for South Africa. She's making her way back up now, the number 22 for Banyana. She seems to be okay though, she's up. Free kick for the South Africans. They send 6 yellow shirts up. Jamaica playing in their black and green kit today. Ball swung inside as far as Plummer. She heads it out. It comes nicely for Seponswe, but she's offside, called on the near side by the referee's assistant. Free kick for Jamaica.
So far, Jamaica, though, has only had to contend with one really dangerous attack from the South Africans. And so our defenders look quite composed and competent. We need to get the attacking phase of our game going. And especially we need to get Khadija Shaw more touches on the ball and involved in the game.
Ball booted away, flicked on by Sweatman. Looking outside to Plummer. It finds Khadija Shaw. Here she is. She tries to get by one defender. A clip of the ankle there by Seponswe. Khadija goes to ground. It's a free kick for Jamaica.
And again, Khadija Shaw has so much ability that if she doesn't do something special with the ball, she's going to get fouled. And so you're going to be able to get something offensively going.
Khadija Bunny Shaw, formerly of St. Jago High School. Ball swung inside by the Jamaicans. Falls to Khadija Shaw. Shot to goal by her. A calm save by Dalmani. But it's the first intent by Shaw, Richard.
They seem to be freeing the legs up. I was not happy about the direction in terms of looking up, seeing where the goalkeeper was positioned. It would have been a basic save for the goalkeeper, but nonetheless, first real shot on goal.
Marla Sweatman with possession for Jamaica. She finds an outlet pass to Bonflaza. Here she is, turns inside to Swaby. Swaby now to Blackwood. Blackwood tries to beat it up the park. Intercepted by Muluzudi. Throw in for Jamaica, taken by Blackwood. Tries to find Shaw. Richard, Shaw playing a bit deeper than we're used to seeing her play in matches that we would have seen.
Yeah, and I actually like where she's at. She's playing that attacking midfield role. So she should be able to get more touches on the ball. There's a tendency sometimes when she's too high and you're playing a team that's able to cut off the supply that she doesn't get enough of the football. Should be able to get more touches on the ball.
As the South Africans look to dribble out, intercepted by Jamaica. Here is Marla Sweatman. She has possession. Jamaica getting more touches. We saw the possession percentage go up, and it was edged to South Africa just by about 4%. Richard, do you think that is correct?
Yes, and we have no problems with that because they haven't been dangerous. That's okay if they want to possess the ball in spaces that don't cause us any difficulty.
Here is Jamaica on the move, looking for outlet pass to Blackwood. She tries to put the ball through the legs of her oncoming defender. And here is South Africa on the counter-attack. It's Banyana. Banyana, ball played inside. The goalkeeper will come. She goes to ground, and she gets it quite easily, Richard.
Very impressed with that counter-attack from the South Africans. The Jamaican left fullback was left high up the field, and immediately they found the space behind her to exploit an early ball inside. That could have been a lot more dangerous with a lot more consequences than we actually got. We have to now pay attention to the counter-attacking speed and pace of this South African team.
Could it be that that's their game plan? Actually, they hold the ball around the back of a very long time and play the ball up when they attack in threes?
Well, we actually lost the ball left fullback, but immediately they were able to identify the space, and they got right behind our centre backs and exploited the space pretty well and pretty quickly.
Here is South Africa yet again. Well, Muluzudi, she goes to ground. Nothing called by the referee, so it's possession now, Jamaica. Ball played over the top, looking for Khadija Shaw. It comes to Janie Van Wyk, the captain of South Africa. Intercepted by Jamaica. Here is the Jamaicans with Bonflaza. She plays it back to Swaby. A swing and a miss by Swaby, but luckily for her, the ball hits the inside of her foot. She's able to pass it out, but South Africa, they have possession yet again. Just at the halfway line, we're into minute number 21, still 0-0 the score here on JFF TV. Ball played over the top to South Africa. Ball played inside now, off the post and out. Jamaicans looking around, but that was a lovely square by the South Africans, finding the head of Jane. But Jane just couldn't direct it properly, Richard, and South Africa showing their first intent.
Swift, and I think this is the second intent, near swift and precise. And again, looking for that, exploiting that space behind our left fullback, who has a tendency, I think, to be attempting to play in a more attacking role. And now I think the other defenders need to ask her, or Coach Menzies needs to ask her to just sit back and play more defensive. He's having some discussion there with her, as you can see, because the South Africans are coming down this right flank.
Here is South Africa with possession again. Ball plays inside now to Jane. Here she is looking for a pass. Intercepted by Jackson to Marla Sweatman. Sweatman tries to play the ball to Khadija Shaw. She gives up the chase though, as it's easily collected by Vilaxi around the back for South Africa. Ball plays inside to Samida. Looking for a pass to Mulazudi. Intercepted by Sweatman. Here goes Jamaica on the counter attack now. Is Asha. Asha to Sweatman. Sweatman gives away possession. So the South Africans are able to come away with it. But here is Jamaica with Blackwood. A bad pass by Blackwood, and the South Africans have possession in a very dangerous area. Here they go is Seponsue. She plays the ball inside, intercepted by Jamaica yet again. Whistle on the play, free kick for the Jamaicans.
And Jamaica not having a good time with left fullback. Is that Blackwood? Making a couple of mistakes. The difficulty with that is that the South Africans seem to know exactly what they're going to do when they get the ball in our attacking third of the field, in their attacking third, and I think we just missed it when that ball hit the post, because certainly that could have been 1-0. They're very swift and precise in their attack.
Well, McClure in goal was beaten all ends up. Luckily for her, it hit the outside of the post. They said the post is a goalkeeper's best friend. So in 24 minutes, it's still 0-0 between the Reggae Girlz and the South Africans. South Africa coming the closest to find the net. Here they are with possession around the back to Van Wyk. Van Wyk finds a pass to Rambaple. Back inside to Vilkazi. Here is South Africa on the move now. The overlapping run is there, but Swaby, she goes across. She is able to boot the ball into touch. It's a throw in for South Africa, number 24.
There seems to be some difficulty with our fullbacks because they're being pulled out of position. And the South Africans, in their system of play, they're attacking the flanks, and their inside midfielders are able to create good passes down the flank, and our centre backs have to be chasing. That situation here needs to be organized, or else we're going to pay the price.
South Africa with possession yet again with Janie Van Wyk. She's just around the halfway line. She plays it now to Milzudi. South Africa with possession still. And Mbwaple. Here she is on the near hand side. Back to Van Wyk. South Africa, Richard, looks to be just simply controlling the game now.
Yeah, the tide has shifted, and the South African team, they've gained a lot of confidence, and they're finding the spaces and making the runs. We need to keep tracking. I think our centre backs.
Well, there we go. Here comes South Africa now. Unfortunate clearance for the Jamaicans, and it's a goal for Banyana. Banyana through number 10, Motalelo. So in minute number 26, the South Africans hit the old onion bag. It's 1-0, Banyana to 0 for the Jamaicans.
And so said, so done. Our defenders aren't playing safe, and that should have been just a basic clearance. A good finish from the South African centre forward. And again, we've been having difficulty here defensively. Whether it is the fullbacks or the centre backs, we've been having some difficulty in this game. But that's just a basic clearance. First touch was really very poor. And not one to say a soft goal, but that was really easy. And that was a gift to the South Africans.
Kanaya Plummer, the one who was just caught napping there in the Jamaican back line. And Mothalo needed nothing else to do, Richard. She wears the number 10, and if the numbers are anything to go by, someone who is deadly in front of goal. So after 27 minutes, South Africa lead the Jamaicans by 1-0.
And let's see how the Jamaicans respond, because certainly these could be situations that we will face in the World Cup. And so let's see what the response will be now. Of course, we need to be better in attack.
They got away immediately, Richard, and the goalkeeper was off her line very quickly. I think Usain Bolt would have been proud of that sprinting. But unfortunate for Shinlu Asha. I think a lady of her caliber, Richard, should be putting that one away.
And you can see the disappointment on her face. Similar mistake to the one that we made, Jamaica made, and should have finished and made that scoreline 1-1.
The goalkeeper made it hard for her, though. She came, got her body big, despite being a very small frame. In goal is Delamani, but well done by her. And as you said it, Asha should be licking her wounds at the moment.
Yeah, should be a little bit disappointed. I think she should have played a little bit quicker. The goalkeeper was able to, come and cover the space, but Jamaica certainly would have relished that goal and put us back even with the South Africans. Nonetheless, good movement, good attacking the defenders. We need to pressure their defenders. We're doing that early in the game, and somehow we've stopped. And once we get back to it, the Jamaicans are able to create an opportunity.
South Africans have possession yet again. Richard, are they playing the 4-3-3 formation?
Yeah, that is what they're playing. I'm just very concerned that not enough touches from my most skillful and creative player. And it's getting Khadija Shaw the ball and getting her in positions where she can create problems.
Ball into, I think, I'm not sure it's a foul or it's a throw-in. I think it's a foul on the goal scorer, Math Lelo. As the South African fans, they are enjoying this atmosphere. It's free admission for them in South Africa. They say it's the farewell game as they leave the nation to go and finish preparations for the World Cup. Here is the Jamaican skipper, Plummer. Gains control, passes the ball out to, I think it is Sasha Campbell, but then Sasha Campbell, she's able to win a throw for the Jamaicans.
Yeah, over dribble though. In attack, we want to be a little bit more controlled and direct. I didn't see the numbers going forward for Jamaica either. And as to whether or not we're pressing the ball, I'm not sure. But here is
Khadija Shaw. I'm not sure what that was, if it was a shot or a square by her, but I think this is the first time in a while that I've seen Khadija Shaw. She kind of looks a bit frustrated, Richard.
It's what's the idea when we're going forward? Should there have been somebody heading into the box, front post or back post? I'm not sure. Shaw decided to square the ball inside it. The good early square would have been difficult, but I'm not exactly sure if her teammates understood exactly what she was trying to get going.
So we say again, good morning to you if you're in Jamaica, good afternoon if you're in South Africa, good evening to you if you're in the United Kingdom. It's South Africa leading 1-0 against the Reggae Girlz as both teams prepare for FIFA Women's World Cup action. Here is Khadija Shaw for Jamaica, tries to play it over to Asha, just behind of Asha, so South Africa, they win possession.
Not seeing enough of Sashana Campbell on the right flank. We need to play all our attacking players into the game, which will take a little bit of distraction away from Khadija Shaw, who is being right now, when she gets the ball, double teamed and sometimes triple teamed by the South Africans. And so we need to play all our attacking players. Duncan on this left side as well.
It's South Africa still with possession, intercepted by Jamaica. Here is Asha now. Asha looking for a pass to the left-hand side, intercepted by Banyana. And here they go on the move again is South Africa. It's through Sepon Sway. Plays the ball inside to Mothelo, the goal scorer for South Africa. South Africa looks to be just a very confident unit, as Richard mentioned, as they grow with confidence as the game goes on. Here they are again, lovely 1-2 passing by them on Jamaica win possession and give it away so easily, Richard.
Very concerned about, again, using the same words, how swift and precise they are in attack. And our defenders need to be really alert. We're going to need a lot of support from our holding midfielders to come back and help. But yeah, the South Africans in attack look as if they have a plan and know exactly what they want to do, especially with the runs that they're making into the box. We need to be very alert defensively.
32 minutes on the clock. Still 1-0 South Africa. They lead. Jamaica has showed signs of hitting the net, but not seen it come to the fray just yet. But here is the captain in Plummer on the dribble. Finds Khadija Shaw. Shaw with it. Shaw looks to take a shot from outside the 18. It falls nicely for Campbell. Up and over the bar. It's Jamaica showing some attacking prowess, especially from around the back, the centre back, Kanoya Plummer.
Excellent drive by Captain Plummer. Again, a little bit disappointed. One with the shot. I'm wondering if Shaw thought the goalkeeper was off the line. But I think that Sashana Campbell should have at least put it on the frame and force a save from the goalkeeper. We are down. Jamaica is down 1-0, and we would want to go back, especially before the halftime break. Nonetheless, it's good to see an attack like that from Jamaica.
I'm sure if that went on the frame, it would have caused the goalkeeper problems because she was backpedaling to her line after that shot by Khadija Shaw. Well, I think, Richard, if you saw the dip by Sashana Campbell allowing the bounce of the ball to beat the defender, it was just trying to find the ball where she wanted to put it. It wasn't really a shot, it was more a loft, trying to go over the head of the goalkeeper.
And I think she hit it at too high a point. She allowed the ball to fall some more, and could have even had a chance all along the ground.
Yes, indeed. I would tell when the goalkeeper is coming high, just roll it under the legs. But here is South Africa now, looking to play the ball inside. 2 black shirts to 1 yellow shirt, so the law of average is there, and Jamaica wins possession. But it's back to the South Africans again. Richard, Jamaica giving away possession so easily.
Yes, and so are the South Africans. And here is Shaw. We've wanted to see her on the ball for a while.
Gives away possession though, Shaw. She dives in and, well, I thought that was all ball, but the referee saw it differently.
Shaw looks a little bit frustrated. There's no need to be frustrated. They're early days yet for her to do something very special. We know what she can do. I think she's frustrated too by the lack of service to her, and just needs to be patient.
I heard recently that she was listed as one to watch for the upcoming World Cup. But here is South Africa now on the dribble on the outside. It is a corner kick, if I'm correct. It's the first corner kick of the afternoon.
And as you talk about Shaw, Neil, she actually is going professional in the summer, which will be good for her. She's been playing a superstar for the University of Tennessee, but her game and the dimensions of her game will significantly improve when she goes professional. So that'll all go well, not just for her, but for Jamaica.
Corner kick for the South Africans to be taken by Makabane. Where's the number 6? Ball swung inside, headed away by, I think that is Sashana Campbell. It comes neatly for Duncan. Jamaica play it around the back and then boot it up long. Finds Janie Van Wyck. Van Wyck goes to ground, and when the veteran goes to ground, the whistle more than likely will be blown. It's a free kick for South Africa.
Again, the South Africans unrealizing the Jamaicans with the ball inside the defensive third. Really pressed. Ball forced to be kicked upfield. Then again would become a 50-50 ball, and they won the ball on the attack again. And I think they're slowly figuring out some of the weaknesses with the Jamaica team, and they're playing to that. Jamaica, on the other hand, needs to find the weaknesses of this South African team. And we saw some early problems when they were pressed in their back line, and somehow we have stopped doing that.
Free kick for South Africa, taken by Van Wyck. Swings the ball inside. The goalkeeper comes and gets 2 fists to it. Pushes it as far as the half line. Ball played outside for the South Africans. They look to play it back into the 18-yard area. The head goes up. It finds the head first of Plummer. Booted away then by Blackwood, still in the 18-yard area before Plummer gets the dirty work done. Swings the ball outside. Lovely control by Sashana Campbell. It's given away yet again. That's number 26, Laura Jackson, Richard. That's actually number 16, Dominique Bonflazar. Not having the best of games.
Not at all. And again, poor first touch and clumsy foul And we have to be careful. We're giving up a lot of fouls in and around our defensive third of the field. And I dare say we may pay for one of these, but we have to just keep on our legs and not create these fouls and opportunities for the South Africans.
37 minutes in the matchup, ball swung inside, and goalkeeper Nicole McClure has that one nice and easily covered. In a full shocking green kit is Nicole McClure, the JFF switching to the Umbra brand since the start of the year. Now the official kit provider for the Jamaica national team. Here is Jamaica yet again through Sonley Asha. Here is Asha, cuts and turns and finds a pass to Plummer. Plummer comes outside to Blackwood. Here is Blackwood, has one to beat. Blackwood gets, is not able to beat the defender. She turns her back and is sent back towards her goal, but she wins a throw.
Blackwood needs to make quicker decisions, playing a little bit too slow and predictable for the South Africans. And I would like to see Duncan playing a little bit more to the line. She's playing a little bit too much inside, create more width and room for us to play and not make it so easy for the South African defenders.
Lovely pass by the South Africans, looking for the goal scorer. Mathalelo goes into touch, a throw-in for Banyana, minute number 39, as we edge closer and closer to the halftime interval. Ball swung inside by South Africa, headed away by the Jamaicans. Here is Jamaica on the move now through Jackson. Jackson plays the ball outside. It's a throw for the Jamaicans just around the halfway line. Throw is taken. Here now is Laura Jackson. She wins another throw. Yes, another throw for the Jamaicans. Minute number 39. Still 1-0 to the South Africans. Here is Khadija Shaw. Shaw tries to play the ball one time. Khadija Shaw is such a skillful player, Richard. To be seen her trying to play so many one-time passes, one-time shots, it's a bit disappointing.
I'm not sure what the instructions are from the coach and whether she feels she can spring a surprise on the defenders by playing that early ball inside. But let's see. We have a lot of confidence in her abilities. And I'm sure that she's somehow, during the course of this game, she's going to do something special.
Corner kick for the Jamaicans. First for them in the match. Second corner kick in total, one apiece. It was not one apiece on the scorecards though, as South Africa, they still lead. Mara Sweatman, she'll take the corner kick taken short. Back to Sweatman, swings the ball in now with the left boot, comes to Asha. Asha heads the ball inside, it's cleared. Well, not as far as the 18-yard area, though. Back to Asha. She was just inside the D of the 18-yard area. I'm not sure what kind of pass that was by Bon Flassar. Not having the best games, we mentioned again. Can she track back and win back possession for Jamaica as Jamaica get their numbers back quickly? South Africa play the ball back towards home, so it allows Jamaica to come back.
Yeah, and again, South Africa leading 1-0. They can dictate the pace of the game. And that's exactly what they're doing now. Really going into their passing game. There'll come a point in the game where Jamaica has to come upfield and press to try and get the ball. And you can see Khadija Shaw encouraging the players to come up, press and mark and try and pin the South African team down.
Into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa. 41 minutes now. Ball threw it up by South Africa, headed away by Jamaica, then booted away by Plummer. Here now is Asha. Asha to Shaw. Shaw tried to control. She had the pressure in the back of the captain Van Wyk. But here is the goalkeeper Dlamani, wears number 16. Seems calm and composed. Waits on Shaw to get to her before picking it up. Rolls it out to Van Wyk. Here is Mathalo, the goal scorer. Goal scorer, minute number 26.
And in Van Wyck, South Africa, I think, have a really experienced player. I think she has 150 caps. And so, comparatively, she would have played in a lot of tough games and would help some of these other South African young ladies to acclimatize with this type and this level of football.
It's Jamaica possession, plays the ball back to Nicole McClure. Here's McClure again with her grasp eventually on it. We're in the 43rd minute still. Richard, 1-0 to South Africa, but if I'm correct, I think that Jamaica had more chances in this the first half.
I would actually say it's even. I think that we made a very simple, basic mistake. Poor first touch and created an opportunity, and they made us pay for that. Nonetheless, I think the back line isn't playing as coordinated as they need to, and so halftime will be a good time to go and talk about that. And the South Africans certainly are exploiting some of the spaces in behind our fullbacks. But in terms of attack, yes, our attacking midfielder needs to really get involved and see if we can create some room and some space for Khadija Shaw to do her magic.
Can she do the magic before the half time? 2 minutes before that, I think Jamaica have been playing well, apart from the lapses in the back that allowed South Africa to get in between the two centre backs. A lovely slot home by the goal scorer. But I think despite the 1-0, you might say that the first half went to the or is going to the Jamaicans.
Depends on how you look at the game. I certainly prefer goals. And we haven't scored yet, but in terms of coming into this game and playing well, we aren't playing badly, but in attack I think we need to get a little bit more organized and know exactly what is the system that we're playing when we're going forward. The transition, though, when we go from attack into defense needs to be done a little bit better and a little bit quicker, because the South Africans are really quick on the counter-attack.
Yes, indeed. I say good morning to the over 1,000 viewers on the YouTube JFF channel watching the game live here on JFF TV. Corner for Jamaica, the second one. Here is Marla Sweatman, swings the ball in. The goalkeeper comes to the edge of the 6-yard area, tries to collect it. She's thrown off by Khadija Shaw. It then goes into touch. It's another corner kick. Khadija Shaw jumping extremely high with the goalkeeper. No foul deemed necessary by the referee. So it's a corner kick for the Jamaicans.
I was wondering why in our first corner we didn't do the same thing, hang the ball up for Shaw, because she's excellent in the air, and have her try and go and head it in the goal.
Corner kick again by Sweatman. The goalkeeper comes again, gets the fist to it. It is almost clear of the 18-yard area. Here is Asha. She has it now. She plays the ball wide, and I think there was a whistle on the play. Yes, there was. Whistle on the play, pre-kick for the South Africans.
I'm not exactly sure the advantage that the referee was playing, but that looked a lot better by the Jamaicans in attack with more purpose. And let's hope that we can finish the half well and come out in the second half with the same kind of desire to score.
1 minute of additional time shown by the referee. So we have about 30 seconds to go. Here is South Africa on possession. Matalelo, the goal scorer. Here she is, plays the ball outside. It's one thing about the Jamaica team, Richard, they get back to their defensive units so quickly.
Well, they have to, because the South Africans are very swift in attack, and they are very disciplined about playing their flanks. They don't have players that are running out of position. There's always somebody out on the flank that the midfielders can spread the ball to, and I think that's their idea of pulling the Jamaican team apart.
So after 45 minutes over there in South Africa, the score, South Africa 1, Jamaica 0. Richard, we've seen 45 minutes. Does the coach for the Jamaica unit have a lot to do in the dressing room?
Yeah, I think he does. This is a match that is geared towards preparation for the World Cup. You're playing a little bit better attack against a little bit better attack, And you're seeing what that's doing to the back line of the Jamaica team, and you need to make some better coordination and arrangements and around the back in terms of coverage, especially with the two fullbacks. The left fullback, I think it's Blackwood, was playing a little bit too high and needs to kind of focus more on her defensive responsibilities. It was a giveaway of a goal, a poor first touch from the centre back, and let's hope that we don't have any more of those. But separate and apart from that, I think the Jamaican team played fairly well. We want to see more going forward. We want to see more coordinated attacks with more purpose. We want to get Shaw more involved in the game. But certainly for playing away, I don't think he'd be tremendously disappointed.
Thank you very much, sir. After 45 minutes, South Africa lead 1-0. I'm sure the Jamaicans will come back in the second half and offer us something more to smile about. Until then, we take a break from the studios.
See the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. 4 a day, the water way. One buckle, 2 buckle, 3 buckle, 4. What everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. 4 a day, the water way.
Well, at the break, it's a perfect scenario for the whole South Africa. Banyana in the lead by a solitary goal, looking good. And they've certainly got the momentum coming into the, getting ready rather for the second stanza. But as expected, Jamaica were tough opponents, really tough to break down.
Yeah, I think just their defensive discipline has been really good. They know which level they are in terms of fitness-wise, hence they're controlling the game in their favor. And I think Banyana really finding it difficult to break down the defense of Jamaica, and I think it's something that the coach will really try to emphasize, to say, let us play the ball around. They're doing really well. The likes of Janine as well, just trying to rotate the ball in as much so that they get a free pass for the strikers to get into good positions.
That's right. I mean, you take a look at some of the opportunities that they had very early on in the game, and Jamaica, I mean, yes, they're the visitors, but but they wanted to settle into this game as quickly as possible. And then we saw, of course, the response from Banyana.
Yeah, and I think Fifi instrumental in that build-up, as well as Jermaine, Linda Motlalo as well. That front three, those attackers, if it is that they can just drift in and out of those positions, with the likes of Ramalepa overlapping, this I thought, I counted it. I thought Fifi did a great job running in late, and it was very unfortunate that it would hit the woodwork.
Yeah, we had counted this one in without a doubt. The build-up, what was really very impressive to see is the interplay.
The interplay is something that Coach Desiree has always emphasized on, to say the build-up will start from the back. If it is that the likes of Janine can rotate the ball and move it out from the congested areas into free-flowing spaces, where I think the likes of Makabane and Leandra are always good to finding a good pass, finding a free player. And I think that's what happened in terms of this build-up leading up to a goal.
It seemed as if the focal individual in that Jamaican lineup, an individual like Kaja Shaw, for example, giving us a really, really tough time, but it was only a matter of time before we found the breakthrough.
Very brave from Linda, who almost every time when we were playing with her, she would want to pass in those kind of positions, and I think very brave of her to take that initiative with an open goal to her and really convert. Very calm as well, but the options, Carol, the options were there to easily give a good pass to a good scoring position for a teammate.
Always important to visualize and find yourself in the correct spaces, in those pockets, in order to aid when it comes to attack.
And if it is that they get those opportunities more in the second half, they should be able to convert and really be comfortable going into 90 minutes.
Well, looking and judging from the performance of Banyana in that first half, are you anticipating, because this is a game, of course, where the coach wants to try and give as many individuals as possible an opportunity, and you look at the areas in which South Africa dominated. What's the story of the stats?
Well, midfield, of course, I think that's where the battle is. Of course, Jamaica also overloading that midfield to try and really protect their back four, and I think that is quite key. But if it is that the likes of Umamelo Makabani, Umbane, actually Ubambanani is doing really well, coming from a central defensive position, finding those spaces and getting a good pass to a free player, and I think that's where we can win the game for Banyana.
A lot of attempts in terms of trying to get those goals need to be a little bit more direct.
Has to be more direct. If it is that we do, and consistently with the interplay and the interchanging of passes, I think we'll get into good scoring positions, but we have to convert, because like we're saying, the story of it all at the World Cup, it's about who scores the number of goals. We have to get a win, a very convincing win for that matter.
That's right. Regardless of the number of opportunities that you get, it's about how many of them are on point, how many of them hit the back of the net. A lot of excitement as well now, because we're given a taste of what's to come out in France, the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour, touching Africa for the very first time. First South Africa, then it goes, of course, to Nigeria as well as Cameroon. So really, really wonderful, and also great. You did say that we were going to see more fans making their way in here. In fact, it's half-time, but there's still so many more that are finding their way to this particular stadium. They are anticipating a great result, a resounding farewell and send-off for Banyana. Changes for the second half.
Yeah, well, I think a player like Tembi Katlane just really to finish off the last line, the defense of Jamaica. And I think with her pace, we'll be able to get more goals and get into better scoring opportunities. But of course, you'd want to see a player like also approach in the second half, where they want to keep it this way, or if it is that she wants to go more offensively.
And where will Jamaica be looking to strengthen?
I think for me, the midfield. If it is that Shaw is not getting the supply, they'll be defending throughout the whole game. So I think if it is that they want to make key changes, they have to be either in their defense or maybe in midfield, so that they can get the balls, they can get someone to really give those key passes.
All right, getting ready for the second half. Remember, all the live action right here on your World of Champions. And of course, we're going to give a man an opportunity to go back and compliment that commentary team of Dwayne DeLocke in English commentary. Enjoy the second stanza.
One already. Up by yard. One already.
Where go so much box? Some Ready TV box. So how it go?
Get your Ready TV box today for only $6,500, including GCT. Get over 100 HD channels.
They have a thing called the RG Pack. We get JNN, RETV, TVJ Sports Network.
Starting as low as $50.
$50.
Get your box now for $6,500.
One already.
Now serving Kingston, St. Catherine, St. Mary, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, and parts of Westmoreland, Trelawney, and St. Thomas.
See the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. Water everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. See the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. Water everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way.
Say their farewells to South Africa in Itiquini ahead of their departure for their final preparations leading up to their first participation in a FIFA Women's World Cup. Butam Sula is among those in the stands. South Africa are...
So as we return for second half action on JFF TV's coverage of the friendly international between South Africa and the Reggae Girlz, the score South Africa leading 1-0. The Jamaicans will start the second half making two changes. The number 21 for the Jamaicans, Adama Nkunu, makes her way onto the park. She replaces number 16, Dominique Bons-Flaza. Richard, a good change by the coach?
Yeah, well, of course, again, we know we're preparing for the World Cup, but he would want to see, these players are vying for spots, so he'd want to see what they have to offer in an arena like this, in a game setting like this. So I think quite a few players are going to get the opportunity to just showcase what it is that they can do at the FIFA World Cup should they be chosen.
Another change is a change that has been called by the fans on the YouTube page to get the number 4 for Jamaica, Chantel Swaby, onto the park. So she comes and goes straight into the back line, Richard.
And of course, they've been a little bit cagey, Jamaica, playing around the back, and hoping that in this half that we can get that better organized. We need to pass with a little bit more accuracy as well, Neo. And offer us better coverage. The South Africans tend to run pretty well off the ball, and so we have to pick the runners up and keep tracking.
there was a change in goal for the Jamaicans also, as Saini Shaina is now between the sticks. Corner kick, she's tested as the second half gets on the way. Corner kick for the South Africans. Ball swung inside, headed away by the Jamaicans, not as far as they would like. It falls to the goal scorer. It's still in the 18-yard area for South Africa. They get away to goal. A fantastic save by Shaina. It's cleared away by the Jamaicans eventually. The number 7, Asha, to the halfway line. It's South Africa with possession yet again. Here is South Africa still with possession. Turn by the number 17, Samida. Still South Africa with possession in the midfield area of the park. They play it outside. The South Africans look to have a bit of vengeance now, Richard. They're on their attack again. Here is Matalala, the goal scorer. Goalkeeper Scheidner comes again. She already has gotten enough work, more work than goalkeeper McClure from before.
Yes, certainly, but credit to the South African attacking players and the more organization from the Jamaican defenders. The centre-back seemed a little bit slow in tracking the South African number 10, and she got behind her. Excellent work from the goalkeeper. She would be pretty pleased with her performance so far.
Yes, indeed. It's still South Africa with possession. We're into just 2 minutes into the second half. Second half so far. A throw taken by South Africa. They still have possession. Try to win it back was Campbell. She does. Looking for a cross inside to Shaw. It comes back to Campbell. Here is Khadija Shaw. Tries to get in front of Van Wyk, and an overhead kick by Khadija Shaw, going for what they call the bicycle kick. It goes into touch, and it's intent early fire by both teams, Richard.
Yeah, it's good to see Khadija Shaw getting involved, showing a bit of creativity, and good idea. I think the South African defenders were a bit surprised. I don't think they were expecting that from her. That's what I really like with Shaw, is that she has that level of creativity and courage to be able to get these shots off in front of goal.
It's Jamaica with possession. Well, given away. Here is Van Wyk, plays the ball outside. Intercepted, comes to Khadija Shaw. She's able to turn, has Van Wyk in the back. She goes for a long-range shot. I'd have liked her instead to go for that pass to Ada Wenkun. Instead, she goes for the shot, goes to the goalkeeper. Then Mane, it's South Africa with possession.
We already know that that isn't going to work for Jamaica, and that Shaw needs to play the other attacking players into the game. And I'm sure she'll figure that out as the game goes along. But clearly had an open pass, and would have done better to have played her teammate into the game.
Throw in for Jamaica, taken quickly. Here is Khadija Shaw now, looks to play the ball inside. The goalkeeper comes, receives the ball, and very fast outlet pass by the goalkeeper. It reaches to the half line. It's tackled by Plummer. Whistle on the play, free kick, Richard.
An attack and good defensive work, to my mind, from Plummer. Seems very aggressive to stop the play high upfield, so the South Africans can't get set in attack. But I do like the way that the Jamaicans have come out in the second half in terms of attack. We've had a couple of looks on the goal, and I'm sure that's one of the things that Coach Memzies would have spoken about, being more creative and going forward in attack.
Throw in for Jamaica. Taken, comes to Khadija Shaw. She comes into her own half to receive it. It's given away. Here goes Banyana looking for a pass to their centre forward. It's intercepted and booted away by the Jamaicans. Throw in again, taken quickly by South Africa. Here is Jamaica on possession. Here's Khadija Shaw at the halfway line. Booted up by Jamaica, comes down to the substitute Adawan Kun. Here she is, gets by one, has Van Wyk to get by. She tries to get by her. The defender comes across, it comes back to Adaman Kun. It goes into touch. It's a throw-in for Jamaica.
And it's good stuff from Adaman Kun because I loved her intent. She seems very athletic, and I'm sure that she's going to cause some problems for the South African defense. And I think in combination with Shaw, we should see something special happen here for Jamaica. But that is obviously a good change for Jamaica in attack.
Here is the likes of swung in by the Jamaicans, comes to the goalkeeper. She has it, comes to the edge of her 18-yard area, boots the ball up. We're into the 52nd minute. A lovely control by the Jamaican centre-back in the centre circle. Here is Swaby. Swaby finds a pass to Khadija Shaw. Shaw tries to get by her defender. It's a shoulder to shoulder there, and the referee gives a corner kick. So corner kick for the Jamaicans.
And again, Shaw showing quite a bit of mobility and breaking away from players marking inside to create more space and more room, more width for Jamaica to attack. And this certainly is a lot better from Jamaica.
Corner kick. The Jamaicans have sent their numbers forward. Looking at the height difference, the Jamaicans seem to be taller. Richard Marla Sweatman boots the ball inside. The goalkeeper comes, gets a fist to it. It falls for the captain, Plummer. She takes a swing at it. Here is Asha. Asha tries to turn on her defender. Still Asha carries the ball towards the goal line. Gets another corner kick for Jamaica in minute number 53.
Yeah, Asha didn't apparently have any support. Anyone to make a pass to, and opted to sort of just play the ball off the legs of the South African. And get another corner kick here for Jamaica. And you're right, Neil, we do have quite a few tall ladies inside that 18-yard box. We just need to hang one up pretty good, and we know how good Shaw is in the air.
Corner kick again by Sweatman, driven inside, the heads go up, finds Khadija Shaw. She heads the ball over the bar. So for the past 3 minutes, Richard, you might say that the Jamaicans have shown that they have the ability to find the back of the net, but they're just yet to put a ball on frame.
Yeah, certainly, and I think some of the changes that we've made, especially the change in attacking midfield, number 21 for Jamaica coming in and really showing that she has the ability to combine and press back the South African defenders, and I think that's going to help. I think in the first half, near our flank attacking players didn't do a very good job in forcing the South Africans back.
Here is Marla Sweatman. Ball goes into touch. She's able to win a throw for the Jamaican contingent to be taken by Blackwood. Blackwood throws the ball up. Comes to Khadija Shaw. She's able to control, tries to get by her defender. Back to Sweatman. Sweatman plays the ball up and over. Headed away by the South Africans, and here they go trying to find another counter-attack. It's still South Africa. Ball intercepted by the Jamaicans. Ball booted into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa.
And again, South Africans looking to break swiftly. I think they're trying to counteract the Jamaica team with speed, which should not be so. We should be. We are a nation of speed, but I think they've figured out the players, they can play the ball over and get behind into their spaces, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. But good coverage from the Jamaican centre-back to come over and offer some help to the full-back.
So you would say it's been a better showing in the first 10 minutes of the second half by the Jamaican contingent?
Most certainly, but the key here is consistency. And so we would want to consistently press them, consistently create these opportunities. I think when they're pressed with the ball that they're going to make mistakes. We saw that when the game had just started, and we want to continue to do that.
Throw-in taken by South Africa. A whistle on the play, free kick for South Africa. Goalkeeper Sydney Schneider was out of her goal very quickly a while ago. Seems to be full of confidence, does Sydney Schneider.
And also reading the game pretty well. She was, as you said, quickly off her line to be able to thwart that chance. But I think while Jamaica seems to be pressing upfield in attack, the South Africans are even now more intent on counter-attacking.
Free kick for South Africa, two-man wall, erected by Schneider. Ball swung inside, headed away. Comes down back to Janie Van Wyk. It's booted away by Jamaica. Comes to the halfway line. South Africa have possession yet again. Here's a goal scorer for South Africa. Plays the ball outside to the right hand side. Ball booted up. Headed away by Plummer. Comes down to Blackwood. Blackwood plays the ball towards the left flank. Finds Marla Sweatman. She gets by her defender quite easily. Here is Sweatman. Plays it inside to Khadija Shaw. To Swaby. Swaby trying to find Shaw back with the 1-2 pass. Intercepted by the South Africans. Actually, Dominique Bonflazai is still on the field, Richard. So we got the wrong information because she's still there.
She seems to be playing the right fullback position. And if I am following the trend of the game, I think that she's been targeted by the South Africans in terms of coming down this left flank. Doesn't seem to be the quickest of players. And so they're trying to play the ball over and get behind her.
Ball swung up into the 18-yard area. Falls for South Africa yet again. Ball booted away by Marla Sweatman. Still South Africa have possession lurking around the 18-yard area. A bit of step overs there by the South African attacker. One back by the Jamaican contingent. Ball played up. Here is Khadija Shaw. She has one to beat. She's all by herself though. Still Khadija Shaw. Still Khadija Shaw going. Has Janie Van Wyk to beat. Still Khadija Shaw. Shaw puts the ball into the net. Richard, she dribbled from the halfway line, getting by 4 defenders. It's all about Khadija Bonnie Shaw as she finds the equalizer for the Jamaican contingent. Richard, your thoughts on that solo effort by Khadija Shaw?
I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I said it earlier that we were going to see something very special. However, that was actually super special. Khadija Shaw certainly taking on 4 defenders, and the finish with great composure and really wonderful stuff. And I am sure that she is going to be earmarked as one of the players to watch in this FIFA Women's World Cup coming up. Excellent work, very confident, defenders all around, and size and strength, Neil, they play a part in this women's game.
Khadija Shaw, well, we've seen her on 2 occasions on local soil when we played Chile in those friendly internationals, just what she could do. And she left Jamie Van Wyk groveling on the ground, Richard. Khadija Shaw. So Jamaica, they are backing it as the South Africans, they try to press forward again. Here is South Africa inside the 18-yard area. The ball comes across, and it's a penalty given by the referee. It hits the hand of Alison Swaby, and the referee points to the spot immediately, Richard.
Unfortunate. And just when Jamaica was getting the momentum, again, the South Africans, they are intent on attacking, swiftly counter-attacking. Unlucky for Jamaica, but let's see if the Jamaican goalkeeper custodian can save this one and keep Jamaica 1-1.
So Schneider has her work to do now. We saw how good of a keeper she was, commanding the 18-yard area, coming off the line quickly. Let's see how good her reflexes are in goalkeeper Schneider, Richard.
Yeah, and from a technical perspective, however, the Jamaican defender jumped with her back turned and her arm stuck out, and so that was very easy work for the referee in terms of giving that penalty.
As a change is being made by South Africa, so penalty to be taken. It hits the bar. Richard Schneider is up back quickly. The Jamaicans are able to come back for the rebound, so a penalty that hits the crossbar, Richard, despite Schneider going the wrong way.
Certainly, and so the football gods have smiled on us. And the Jamaican team, I think, will breathe a sigh of relief. Again, we spoke about it from a technical perspective. Jumping like that and trying to block the ball with your hands out. If the ball hits your hand, the referee is going to make an easy call for a goal.
Well,
a penalty, rather.
Schneider did go to the right way, but the height beat her. But luckily for her, as we saw in the first half, the post of the goalkeeper is always their best friend, and it came to her rescue a short while ago. So in minute number 61, the score is 1-1. South Africa scoring in minute number 26, and a solo effort by Khadija Shaw to equalize. Richard, Jamaica, they have come out to play a much better second half.
Yeah, certainly. Whatever the message was in that locker room from coach Memses, it definitely has had an effect. But I think the goal that Jamaica scored on South Africa has had an effect on them, and they're trying to up the tempo of the game, and let's just hope that Jamaica, they're able to match it.
So it's possession to South Africa yet again atop the 18-yard area. Here is Jamie Van Wyk, plays the ball across her 18-yard area. Still possession with South Africa. Not pushing the ball is Jamaica, they're just keeping their ground. Just about an hour to go, Richard, and it's an evenly contested matchup now.
Yeah, we had that in the first half as well, and then Jamaica had lost a little bit of focus. But what's happening now, Jamaica is pressing high up the field when the South Africans are trying to play out of the back, and that's affecting the South Africans.
Here is Jamaica with possession. Ball played to the touchline. Back to South Africa. South Africa still with possession as they move the ball from left to right. Looking for that lovely through pass. Still South Africa ball is then played to Sweatman. Sweatman tries to clear it. It's off the body of Swaby. Here South Africa on the left hand side. Ball is played inside and it's then swung into touch by Dominique Bonflaza. It's a corner kick for South Africa.
So Jamaica needs to remain composed. The South Africans are pressing and looking for a second goal. I think one of the difficulties Jamaica is having is that the South African fullbacks are coming up very high and really coming into the attack and offering the South Africans a lot of width and space to play. And the Jamaican players have to counteract that. That problem can be fixed on the field. And let's see how well that problem is dealt with. But a little bit too much action from the fullbacks of the South African team is going to be problematic.
As Koya Plummer makes ways, the corner kick is taken and it goes behind the goal by Van Wyk. So it's a goal kick for Jamaica as Torgan Patterson comes onto the park for the Reggae Girlz. So it's a goal kick for Jamaica taken. It's South Africa back with possession. Here they are on the left-hand side. Still South Africa just in line with the 18-yard area. They play it back to the midfield area of the park. Here's South Africa still with possession. Ball swung inside. The flag is up on the far-hand side. It's a offside is the call. A free kick for Jamaica. So in minute number 66, it is 1-1 between South Africa and the Reggae Girlz.
Well-earned goal by Jamaica. Came out playing in this second half with more creativity in attack and more purpose, and were rewarded with a fantastic goal.
Here is the goal scorer, Khadija Shaw. There's a whistle on the play for a handled ball. Free kick for South Africa. Minute number 66, still 1-1 is the score. Here's South Africa with possession. Gets by Swaby. Ball played inside, just close to the center circle. Looking for a through pass were the South Africans. Swaby with possession for Jamaica. Plays it over to Marla Sweatman. Here is Sweatman. She has forward runs going both left and right. She finds a yellow shirt instead of a black one, so it's South Africa with possession yet again. Ball played out to the right hand side by the South Africans. Asher is there to do the defensive work. She's still there, Asher. She goes to ground. It's one back now by Blackwood, who boots it up. It's back to South Africa though. Ball plays inside. Schneider stays on the line. The South Africans appeal for a handle ball. Nothing given by the referee. It's booted into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa.
It's going to be crucially important, Neil, for the attacking midfielders, the flank players for Jamaica to come back and provide support to the fullbacks because of the numbers that the South Africans are pushing in terms of their fullbacks coming forward.
Ball swung inside by South Africa yet again. The Jamaican defense unit, Richard, they defend in numbers. South Africa finding it hard to get any free headers inside the 18-yard area. Here they are again. Ball is swung inside. The heads go up. It falls to South Africa. A shot is there. It is intercepted by Shoshana Campbell. She boots the ball into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa. Taken again quickly. Swung inside yet again. Here is Marla Sweatland. She swings and misses, but Blackwood is right behind her to receive the scraps. Here she is. She plays the ball to the touch line. It goes into touch. A throw into South Africa.
Possession of that ball when we are coming out defensively is going to be very important. It's going to be very difficult if Jamaica continues to turn the ball over and allow South Africa to build up and come forward.
Here is South Africa still with possession. Here is South Africa moving through. Still South Africa ball. Well, they try to play a through pass. It goes out to the right hand side now. It comes over. A shot to goal, and Schneider watches that one all the way over her post. It is, I think there might have been a deflection, if I'm correct. No, it's not. It's a goal kick, Richard.
Seem to have already crossed the plane. Yes. Schneider just being careful, wanting to not let anything in that would disappoint her teammates.
Here is Jamaica with possession given away yet again as South Africa, they attack. Ball trying to play through the space. Schneider is off her line quickly yet again. Looks to be a very good goalkeeper, Richard.
So far, she's showing her competence, but she has come under quite a bit of pressure. The South Africans are really pressing the Jamaican team, and Jamaica is coughing the ball up far too often. Some possession needs to be had, especially working the ball out of the defensive third and in the midfield.
Here is Asha with possession into minute number 70. We are now. It's 1-1 the score between the Reggae Girlz and Banyana. Possession given away. Here is South Africa. They are on the attack. The shot taken to goal. A wayward shot goes into touch. It's a goal kick for the Jamaicans.
Game really being played by the South Africans at a very fast pace. Defenders having to do a lot of work from Jamaica, and it would be important to slow the pace of the game down. You don't want to have tired legs going into the last quarter of the game.
So goal kick taken. Marla Sweatman gets a head onto it, trying to flick it onto her. 3 attacking players. It's booted back to the 18-yard area of Jamaica. Here now is Sweatman. Second half possession sees South Africa leading 61 to 39%, Richard.
And those are not good figures, especially given the fact that a lot of that possession by the South Africans have been penetrative possession in terms of them going forward and creating opportunities. It's not just playing the ball side to side in your defensive third. A lot of work having to be done by the Jamaican midfielders. They are having to come back and support the defenders because the South Africans are really pressing with numbers.
Nicely crowded stadium in South Africa. We mentioned again that the match is actually free of cost.
It's a farewell game for the girls from South Africa before they take the world on.
Here is Jamaica with possession. They give it away to South Africa. South Africa attacking in numbers on the right-hand side. Tries to get by the defender, the South African attacking player. It's won back by the Jamaica defensive unit. Blackwood is over there. She boots the ball up with the left boot. It comes now to South Africa yet again in the midfield area of the park. South Africa with possession. Ball is now to the right-hand side. Coming across is the Jamaican centre-back. She boots that one into touch, a throw-in for South Africa.
Good movement of the ball from the South African team, and equally good marking and the tracking by the Jamaican team thus far.
South African player goes to ground. The referee is right there. It calls nothing. Ball then played into the box, and Jamaica have themselves a goal kick yet again.
If you think, Leo, in the scope of the World Cup, this is a good exercise for the Jamaican team because they're going to play against some teams that are going to possess the ball more than they do, and they're going to be pressed back, and you're going to have to hold your composure, do good tracking, and be very precise in your tackles. And I think right now it's a good exercise. We don't want to continue doing this for the game. It's going to be difficult. Jamaica also wants to be able to play the ball out of the back and be able to do so keeping possession.
Ball played inside, booted away by South Africa. Marla Sweatman, she has it for Jamaica. She looks for a pass. She finds Swaby. Back to Sweatman. Sweatman looking to spread the ball across the area of the park to find Blackwood on the outside. It's intercepted by South Africa. Ball played up and over. Schneider comes off her line very quickly yet again and is able to calm down the attack of the South African team. Plays it to Patterson. Here now is Swaby. Swaby looking for Khadija Shaw. She seems to have slid on the turf. It goes into touch for a throw to South Africa. Ball booted up by South Africa. The flag is up. It's offside. A free kick for Jamaica.
There is no doubt that South Africa wants to win this game. They are certainly pressing in attack. Jamaica, again, having a lot of difficulties playing out of the back and in the midfield, possessing the ball, making the right passes, and opening the game up. Flank players playing wide. That's not happening for the Jamaica team right now. Jamaica team needs to possess the ball and take some of the pressure off the defenders.
Here is South Africa with possession. She is tackled by Khadija Shaw. Shaw stopped and looked to the referee, thinking that the ball was out. It's a ball into touch again for a throw into South Africa just at the halfway line. Throw taken by South Africa. Here they are with possession. Ball booted up. Patterson is there. The forward for South Africa is pushing Patterson in the back. It's a free kick for Jamaica, Richard.
Number 11 for South Africa showing her desire to get a goal and go 2-1 up. But good composure and coverage by the Jamaican. I think that's a Jamaican holding midfielder that found herself back in a real defensive position.
So we're into minute number 76. 1-all the score. Here is Marla Sweatman for Jamaica, trying to find Khadija Shaw. Shaw, oh gee, tried to keep that one, and it goes into touch. It's a throw for South Africa just inside the Jamaica half. Throw is taken. Here is South Africa with possession. The player goes to ground. Nothing given by the referee. Here is Sweatman. Plays it back to Patterson. Here she is. She comes across to Schneider. Quickly pressed by the South Africa attacker. Here now is Swaby. Goes into touch. It's a goal kick.
So it's very clear the high press intent of this South African team, and if Jamaica is going to play the ball out of the back, then the midfielders have to come and provide outlet passes and support for the Jamaican defenders, and right now that's not happening, and Jamaica is really being pressed by this South African attacking unit.
Here is Schneider looking for an outlet pass. Saw none, so she did the next best thing, Richard. Put the ball into touch. It's a throw-in for South Africa. Here South Africa with possession. Ball booted up by Blackwood. It's a body, a South African body into touch. It's a throw-in for Jamaica now.
So Jamaica in a real defensive mode. And the South Africans attacking all ends out, looking for a goal. Again, possession is the key.
Here now, well, possession given away by Jamaica yet again. Here is South Africa, just atop the 18-yard area. The goal scorer for South Africa. Ball then cleared by Swaby. Back to South Africa with possession. Taken away by Asha. Here is Asha. Asha with possession. Looking for the outlet pass. Finds the chest of Khadija Shaw. Here is Shaw. Still Khadija Shaw. She's on the dribble. Has Janie Van Wyk to get by. Van Wyk goes to ground. Gets the ankle of Shaw. Whistle on the play. And here comes out the yellow card by the referee, Richard.
And of course it's, I guess, truly an honor for Shaw to have Van Wyk chasing and seeming as if this is a great challenge for her. And you're talking about changing of the guards. Van Wyk with 150 caps to her name. And Shaw, not sure, I think Shaw would have had a few caps for Jamaica, but certainly not anywhere near 150. But Van Wyk identifying that Shaw is the key player, especially from that goal that was scored. Jamaica just made a change.
They have brought on number 25, Chanel Hudson Marks, plays for the University of Memphis.
Saw her against Jamaica versus is that Chile? She came on in that game in Kingston and played fairly well. Lively, aggressive player.
Ball swung inside from the free kick to Khadija Shaw. She gets the head onto it first, but looking for that top corner. Instead, it goes into touch. It's a goal kick for South Africa, but lovely to see some attacking prowess from the Jamaican contingent.
Yeah, and it's good work from Shaw. She's doing a lot of work on the field, especially in trying to hold the ball up top and in the midfield for Jamaica, because the South Africans certainly have had too much possession in this second half, and we know sometimes what that can bring. South Africa, apparently they're making a change as well, Neil.
It's a change for South Africa as Siponswe comes out and Mathandi goes in, the number 9, Richard.
Now, I'm sure that South Africa would also be looking to see how some of their players are going to acquit themselves in the World Cup by virtue of how they play here. And so a lot of the ladies are getting exposure and getting some time in this game.
So with 10 minutes remaining on the clock, the score 1-1 between South Africa and Jamaica. both two teams. Richard, will you say that they'll be happy for the draw, or would the two teams be looking to go for the victory now?
I think both teams want to win, and you can see that by the way the game is being played right now. And it's a really good challenge, especially for Jamaica with the style of South Africa. They're not far ranked ahead of us, and so Jamaica would want to certainly come out here with a victory. And that is not a far-fetched idea at all. We've seen some really good attacks, but maybe for the last 10 minutes, Jamaica has been under quite a bit of pressure on possession by this South African team.
Here now is South Africa yet again. South Africa with possession, ball played inside. Here is Banyana looking for a pass. Schneider is able to control it. Brings the game or her defense line to a relaxation mode and passes it out. Given away by Jamaica again, Richard.
And we've spoken about this for quite some time now. We're talking about that possession game and allowing the South Africans to have too much possession, especially advancing into their attacking third and Jamaica's defensive third. So far, the defenders, though, have been up for the challenge for Jamaica.
Here is Khadija Shaw again. She beats one defender. She has 5 yellow shirts around her. Still Shaw, unable to get by all 5. So South Africa, they are able to regain possession, trying to pass it out from around the back. South Africa, they have it just around, whether it's into their 18-yard area now, Richard. Khadija Shaw going on the run yet again.
Yes, certainly, and I don't know if this is a testimony to her level of fitness, because those drives that she's making take a lot of energy. She's not having a lot of support up top when she receives the ball, and so that can be part of the difficulty where the other attacking players in terms of joining the play when Khadija Shaw receives the ball.
Into minute number 83 we go, well, number 84. So just around 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Can the Reggae Girlz find that go-ahead goal? I'm sure the number one rule now, Richard, must be not to concede.
Yeah, well, certainly you don't want to concede. You would not want to lose the game. But of course, you don't want to stifle the creativity and the, being purposeful in attack. This is a very good marker for the coach in terms of how Jamaica plays in a game like this. And so I don't think Jamaica is not wanting to win the game at all.
Here is Banyana yet again. Ball swung inside, headed away by Marla Sweatman. Comes to the goal scorer, still in the 18-yard area. Shot up and over the crossbar as South Africa show their attacking instincts. Yes, again.
And again, close calls. Good header out, but not far enough. Really set up for the number 10 for South Africa. I'm sure she would be disappointed and would want that one back.
You could see it on her face, Richard, that she expected to do much better with that, but maybe her eyes opened up a bit too much in disbelief when she saw that one coming for her. As Janie Van Wyk, she's put in a good shift. She is replaced by Matt Lowe in minute number 85. So 5 minutes to go in this friendly encounter as both teams continue their preparation for the 2019 Women's World Cup. Here is South Africa. They look to go forward, trying to find a cheeky pass through the 2 center backs of the Jamaican contingent. Here is South Africa trying to get inside the 18-yard area of Jamaica. They do that now. Ball swung inside. Schneider gets a fist to it. A shot to goal again. Cleared off the line, if I'm correct, by Blackwood. Richard, I'm not sure Schneider got a hand to that one. If she did, it would have been a brilliant save for her.
Yeah, good defensive work. I think too many easy opportunities being created, but at the same time, good defensive work, way to stay alert by the Jamaican centre-back and get back on the line to be able to make that save.
Schneider parries it, falls to the boot of the South African player inside the 6-yard area. The flag is up. Offside is the call. I think she should have held on to that one, Richard. I thought she would have been able to hold on to it, but she is out there. We're just over here sitting down, so I would say a good save for her. Offside, so South Africa puts one in to the net, but it's taken back by the referee.
Yeah, certainly, and it was the attacking players for South Africa looking very alert. I think they were actually playing for that, wanting a ball that would rebound, that would come back out. Nonetheless, offside, and score remains 1-1.
So the referee assistant helping out the Jamaicans. Offside call into minute number 87. Trying to see that replay of the initial shot that went to goal, because if that actually was a save by Schneider, then she would have had my respect completely, Richard, as Ashley Shim comes on for Asha with just around 3 minutes left to play.
Let's see what fresh legs bring to the game. What certainly the Jamaican team would not want to concede at this time, and hopefully try and push forward for a goal.
Here is, I think that's Patterson, plays the ball outside. Here is Jamaica with control, looking for Khadija Shaw. Here is Shaw. A bad touch by Shaw. She appeals for a handled ball. Nothing given by the referee. South Africa, they are on the move, looking for open spaces. Ball is played to the left-hand side. It's booted away as far as the center circle for South Africa. Here is South Africa with possession, trying to find a way to open the door. They've been knocking for some time in this second half, but Jamaica has defended well. Schneider has put in an excellent shift since coming into the goal for the second half, Richard.
Certainly credit must be given to the way that the Jamaica team has defended in this second half. They've come under tremendous pressure. Yes, there are reasons why they're being so openly attacked, and work that needs to be done by the flank midfielders coming back and providing some support. But the back four have really stayed alert and have really blocked a number of shots by the South Africans. And I think that's exactly why Jamaica is 1-1 in this game.
Here is Shaw. She fakes the shot, still has the ball. Shaw, she's tackled by 3 South Africans, so more than likely she would lose possession, which she does, but she has shown us that she's able to work her way out of very tight spaces, Richard.
Yeah, certainly. Close ball skill is very important, especially at this level. When you get to the World Cup, there are a number of teams that would not be accustomed to that kind of play, and so it may be difficult for them to cope initially.
So as we go into minute number 90, the final minute, let's see how much time the referee will add on, as South Africa, they are called offside. And I don't think she was offside when you look at the replay, Richard, but the referee sees it and comes to our rescue yet again.
Well, I'm sure Jamaica is happy with that call. South Africans definitely looking to get behind the Jamaican defense. But again, credit must be given to the Jamaican defenders, because they've come under tremendous pressure, and they have not wilted at all. They'll be a tired bunch, the back four. But certainly this is some of the type of pressure they're going to face when they get to the World Cup, especially in their first game.
A 1-1 draw if it ends this way, Richard. Not a bad result for the Jamaicans.
I don't think so for a traveling team and the sort of environment that they're playing in. It's an excellent experience for them. And of course, we're playing a team that's ranked number 49. We're 53.
So we're into stoppage time now. Not able to see what went up for the stoppages, but it's a throw-in for South Africa as they look to find that go-ahead goal. 3 minutes of additional time to be added on. Richard, 3 minutes for anything to happen.
And Jamaica just really needs to continue to play as compact as they're playing. And maybe it is Jamaica's time to hit South Africa on the counter-attack.
Possession still to South Africa, close and around the 18-yard area of the Jamaicans. A shot taken to goal, booted away by Jamaica to around the halfway area. South Africa, they have it yet again though. Ball played inside, booted away again by Jamaica. As South Africa, they are knocking, Richard.
They are, but I think at this point in time, the Jamaican team are going to consolidate, especially inside that midfield area, and be able to nullify any of the attacks. South Africa, certainly they're sending a lot of players forward, especially the fullbacks, which leave spaces in the back. Should Jamaica be able to counter-attack before the 3 minutes is out?
They have possession now, Jamaica. They will allow the ball to go into touch. It's a throw-in for the Reggae Girlz in just around 90 seconds left to play here in South Africa. Here is Khadija Shaw. If anyone can find a goal, we know that she can. She's tackled by two. The ball goes into touch. It's a throw-in again for Jamaica, almost in line with the South African 6-yard area, now called the goal area. Here is Shaw into touch again. It's deemed off Shaw, so it's a throw-in for South Africa now. Jamaicans will try to keep them in their defensive third. They try to clear their lines. Jamaica has possession. Here is Jamaica with the ball. Seems to be Swaby. Swaby boots it up. Not sure that we'll be able to reach that one. Can she? No, it's into touch. It's a goal kick, and that just might. Well, there's how about 30 seconds, depending on how fast South Africa is able to play it, Richard.
Of course, the South Africans are still interested in getting a goal, but good work by the Jamaican team in keeping them in their own half and having some possession.
Here is South Africa with possession. Ball played inside, booted away by Swaby, and that might just be it, Richard, as we're on 3 minutes now. All eyes on the referee, and there is a final whistle. So, Richard, after 90 minutes of football, Jamaica, they leave. If it was a game of importance, 1-1 will give you 1 point, and I think they will be happy with 1 point, Richard.
Yeah, certainly the performance from the Jamaican team, especially from a defensive perspective, was fairly good. The passing and the possession still needs quite a bit of work. We saw something, and it's not special, it's super special, from Khadija Shaw. A fantastic goal, and when you have a player like that in your team, you can expect to come back into a game, especially when you think you're out and South Africa having so much possession of the ball. I think Coach Menzies would be happy with some of the players. There's improvement required from others. Defensively, when the game just started in the first half, we didn't play very well. We gave up a goal from a ball that was miscontrolled. And I think second half, a lot changed, especially in attack. And the Jamaican team have a bit to be proud of as they prepare for the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Thank you very much, Richard, and thank you to everyone who listened to us this morning. If you're in Jamaica, and good afternoon to you if you're anywhere around the world. It was a pleasure being with you here again. So the final score, it is Jamaica 1, South Africa 1.
International, and South Africa say farewell as they begin their trip to their historic appearance at a FIFA Women's World Cup. Noko Matlo, 151st international cap today. No appearance for Banyana, who would have earned her 150th international cap, and she made her way off the bench onto the park for South Africa today. Ultimately, it is a draw in this international friendly at the Moses Mabhida Stadium as South Africa bid farewell to their home fans. They draw with World Cup bound Jamaica 1-1.
Well, a fighting performance from both South Africa as well as Jamaica, and a share of the spoils. Let's talk about the standout player on the field of play today, and she hails from the Reggae Girlz, and that is Khadija Shaw. Bunny, congratulations. You get your prize, courtesy of Cecil, and that's Cindy Ukhos, who does the honors of congratulating Bunny. Well done, what a performance. But did you find that the going really tough, breaking down South Africa?
I mean, of course, South Africa is a very organized team, and they're very, very, very vigorous, and they're very physical. So we knew that coming out here was going to be a rough one and a tough one, and we had to grind too. So I mean, we just came out here and just did what we had to. I mean, it wasn't the best performance from us, but South Africa gave us a really good fight.
Tell us what the conversation was like in the dressing room at halftime. What were you told to do more of, the Jamaican side?
I mean, we had to just relax. I mean, obviously the crowd is behind South Africa, and they're just having a good time. So I mean, with the players and the crowd against us, I thought we were playing a little bit slow in the first half. So we just went in there and we just said, hey, look, we got to move the ball faster. We got to keep pressing high, because when we're pressing high, we got to get shots on goal. And so that's what we came out here and did.
How far has this game gone in terms of preparing you for the big stage, the FIFA Women's World Cup?
I mean, it's really good, especially for the crowd, because in France, we're going to have a big crowd as well. And I mean, we just want to thank South Africa for having us here. I mean, they've treated us really well, and we just congratulate them moving forward to the World Cup also. I mean, obviously, both of us just made it to the World Cup, and I mean, it's going to be a tough one for both teams. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an experience, and we just got to go out there and just have fun.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Oh, man, fantastic performance from Bunny, really making sure that she gets her side back in the action. We're going to chat to the coaches as well now, and I know that they're standing by just to really tell us what it is that they've learned about their teams, their various teams' performances. We'll start off with the visiting coach, first of all. Very, very proud of how it is that his side has performed. Congratulations, coach. You said it was going to be tough, and that's exactly how it turned out to be, but great comeback from your side.
Fantastic crowd. Thanks to South Africa. This is the motherland. You know, they welcome us with open arms, and we accepted it. Obviously, Bunny is such a special player. She makes things happen for us.
You said you were going to use this game to learn how far along you were in terms of your preparations. What are some of the key factors in how your team played? What are you going to be focusing on now?
Well, now we have to narrow the squad down. Yeah, and this is what this game was about. We didn't bring the other players. We replaced them with other players to evaluate them. Now we get an opportunity to look at those players now, and this was a great environment. The crowd, a World Cup feeling environment.
Which element of your play did you have to show up in the second half? What did you have to do better?
Well, obviously we had to keep the ball better in the back. I think we gave the ball away a little bit too much in the back. South Africa capitalized on their goal, and then now we gave away some chances too in the second half. We had great save by our goalkeeper at the end there, but you know what? Hey, we can fix those things.
Oh, congratulations today. Great game, as you rightfully said, and best of luck with the rest of your preparation.
Thank you. Thank you, South Africa.
Great stuff. I mean, they loved it. They said the hospitality was amazing here in South Africa. But I think that an individual who's going to be feeling a little let down, looking at the number of opportunities, is Coach Desiree Ellis. Coach, strong start from the ladies, but I know that you're a little frustrated with the number of opportunities that the ladies just couldn't convert.
We spoke about that, and I think the penalty was also a big turning point. You know, we could have gone up again, and we controlled most of the game, created a lot of opportunities, but as I said before, you know, those little errors that we make, the teams punish you, and it happened today where Khadija took on a chance, and what a fantastic player, but we should have still dealt with that. You know, we brought on fresh legs, and we still carried the game towards them, and right at the end we had another one or two opportunities. You know, on another day the score could have been much more, but we're happy with the effort. You know, the fans came out in their numbers, and for the send-off game we wanted to give them a victory, but I think they'll be happy with the effort.
How far are you now? What have you learned in the performance today and the squad that you selected, the ladies that you gave an opportunity to run out, in terms of finalizing? Are you any closer to finalizing that final squad?
Well, each and every time players raise their hand, the changes that we made also had an effect, you know, raise the level of the game, which we wanted to. We wanted to play much quicker, especially in the final third, and we did that, but we need to have more composure in front of goal, and that's one area we need to work on, our finishing. As I said, we create a lot of opportunities, but we need to start finishing, because goals win games, you know, and today we could have had a positive result with the opportunities that we had.
Agreed. So now, of course, getting ready for another big one. You're going to leave these shores, the safety of South African shores, and USA coming up in May.
Yeah, that's not an easy one. You know, they're the world champions and the current #1. But it's another opportunity for us to test ourselves. It's also another opportunity for us to have a look at players. The squad's not finalized yet. And another opportunity for players to raise the levels, because you don't need any motivation playing against the world champions. And we've played them before and gave a good account of ourselves. But that will really, really tell us what we still need to work on. But we're extremely happy. There's certain areas we need to work on. You know, a little bit more organized in the counter-attack, etc. And when we counter to finish. But there's room for improvement. There is always, but we're happy with the effort.
Coach, best of luck on the road. You know that there are millions that are behind the ladies. So looking forward to seeing what it is what more the ladies can do.
You know, we just want to thank the fans that came out in their numbers, that came to support us. We're disappointed we couldn't give them the victory, but you know, we gave them a good match. And I think that's important to SAFA and our sponsor Cecil for the fantastic preparation they have given us. So thank you very much to the fans. Thank you very much for SAFA and Cecil. We thank you for the support, and we thank you that you were here. And as a picture, we couldn't give you the win, but I think you will be happy with the effort.
They certainly are. Thank you so much, Coach. All right, fantastic performance here, and a lot of dignitaries as well that came out. There's a special presentation now that is going to take place, courtesy of the presidents of the various federations out in Jamaica as well as South Africa, just commemorating this wonderful occasion. Making sure that we remember it was a momentous day, isn't it? For the very first time we had Jamaica coming out here, facing off with South Africa. And of course, remember that both these two sides qualifying for the very, very first time for the FIFA Women's World Cup. So an exchange of gifts from the two nations today. And a share of the spoils as well. All right, and of course the members of the media wanting to make sure that they record this wonderful occasion. And while they do that, I'm going to steal the SAFA president, and that is Dr. Danny Odan. So what a big day, very momentous occasion. Your take, having witnessed Banyana in action, knowing that they've got that big task that's coming up.
Well, when they came back from Cyprus, there was a bit of self-doubt, demoralization. I think the spirit is up. They had a tremendous welcome here in Durban. They've been around, and the turnout for the match, I think it's the biggest turnout for any women's football match in South Africa. And I want to just thank the crowd. They really pushed. It was no way that they were not going to win today. We had a penalty, we had a ball in the net, but it's football. I think we want to thank Jamaica. They're always there to support us. In the first World Cup in 1998, it was South Africa, Jamaica as the debutants. In France, now two. 2019, South Africa and Jamaica debutants in France again. So I want to wish them all the best.
And the camaraderie as well that has been showcased when it comes to Jamaica. They did say that the hospitality was unbelievable from South Africa. So Jamaica, very happy to have been here and very well hosted by South Africa.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What a fantastic occasion. And let us not forget as well that we had the FIFA Women's World Cup trophy that has touched down in Africa for the very first time. We've got the chief football officer at FIFA, and that is Sarai Barman, who's here with us. What an occasion. So good to have you here. I know you're loving South Africa and the atmosphere. You got to witness today two debutants at the FIFA Women's World Cup in action. Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. The fans here are amazing. I think the South African fans and the Jamaican fans are going to be the loudest and proudest at the World Cup this summer in France.
Oh, we like the sound of that. We certainly do. And let's talk about women's football, how far it has come, that you're actually seeing the competitive nature and new nations as well that are being a part of this grand stage of the Women's World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw it on the field tonight. Two teams that are qualified for the first time ever. They will be joined also by other debutants. This World Cup is going to be the biggest and the best yet, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a game-changing moment for women's football, and we're going to look back in years to come and say this was a major milestone.
I know that you were also in charge of keeping an eye on that big prize, the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yeah, it's the first time that the trophy itself has been on the African continent, and it is an absolute honor to bring it for the first time to South Africa. So let's see, maybe they'll bring it home at the end of the World Cup to stay.
Fingers crossed. Now, special presentation from Sasol to Sarai and to FIFA to make them feel right at home here. So as you can hear from Sasol saying, a piece of home, a piece of South Africa, a piece of Africa that FIFA can take along after this wonderful, wonderful occasion. Great job. Thank you so much. Wow, awesome stuff. What an occasion. What a wonderful matchup. And of course, we're just going to break it down and summarize it. I know that Wamanda is standing by. Just look at some of the highlights of what it is that we witnessed. That final game. It was a send-off, as it were, for South Africa. And they wanted to make sure that they say farewell the best way possible. South Africa. What a game, Amanda.
Very, very exciting game, and just also the abilities of Jamaica being able to get some positive and impactful players from the bench. And I think that really changed the complexion of the game. And of course, I think Coach Desiree will be saddened by the number of chances that we created but couldn't convert, hence the scoreline.
That's right. I mean, she did say as well, Coach Desiree, that that's one thing that they spoke about, even at the halftime break, saying the number of opportunities that we had really needed to be more clinical.
And you could see that they had that kind of conversation in the change room, because we saw a different Banyana, very direct Banyana in the second half that really wanted to get a second goal immediately after halftime. And I think had they maintained that sort of intensity, that sort of mindset, I think we probably would have been 3 goals up eventually in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
So overall, would you say that this was a positive outcome for Banyana? Positive on the whole?
I think it's a bit 50-50, Carol. In terms of dominating the game, we should have done better. I think Shaw just coming with an incredible run and just really putting our defense to their paces and to the test. And that's what we needed, of course, in this game, to see whether we can be able to maintain such good players of high quality. But in terms of our chances and just our finishing, that just needs to improve. They were at the Cyprus Cup, and this was also the same story for Banyana, that they'd get into good scoring positions, they'd lead games, but then eventually lose or draw a game.
Yeah, raise the level of intensity. That's something that Banyana are going to want to do, and something they'll be forced to do when they come up against the United States of America. So the story of the stats at the end.
The story of the stats, 40%, I think, midfield is where the battle was, of course. Very improvement, I think, on Jamaica's side, where you saw 30% of their entries in our final third, which means they had better chances, and due to the second half. But of course, Banyana really dropping a bit. In the introductions of Tembi Katlane as well, I think, with those runs off the shoulder, got a bit offside at times, and I think that's some of the homework that the girls will have to do to try and just hold their line, because they are pacey players. So I think all in all, a very fair, I think, game from Banyana, and hopefully can just improve when they face USA.
Interesting comment from Jamaica, where they said that it was quite daunting coming out here and hearing the crowd that was fully behind Banyana. They found that really tough in terms of settling into this game.
Yeah, it had to be tough. I think we needed the 12th man on the pitch, and of course the people of Durban, the people of eThekwini came out in numbers to bid Banyana farewell, and with a good performance at the end of the day, and I think they should be proud. But I think they sort of won the hearts of some of the eThekwini people, because they're a promising team, and I think a developing team over the years.
Oh, so a big thank you to the fans that came out in their numbers and made sure that this was a festive atmosphere. It's what we expected. So many, a lot was done as well behind the scenes in terms of the campaigning. As you said, a lot of the squad members went out into the community speaking to the members of the media, and they sent out that clarion call to say, come out and support us. Come out and support us, and that's what the fans actually did.
Yeah, and I think the Jamaica dignitaries also don't want to miss out on the fun. So I think it's just been a positive energy to bid the ladies farewell, and I think this is a generation that we are living in, where people are starting to appreciate women's football. We're living in a time where women footballers themselves know their worth, and just showing and displaying their qualities on the pitch.
Must be so emotional for you as well to have seen the rise of women's football, and now this is where we are. What, 61 days to go before this the biggest stage when it comes to a footballing career, and seeing some of your former teammates as well now getting this opportunity to showcase their skills on the stage. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's been years and years of commitment, years of sacrifice, and I think there's been generations, of course, from the era of Desiree Ellis to Portia Medices to myself, and of course the current generation where Janine is leading. So everyone has put in a great shift in terms of putting South Africa where they are. So whether you're part of the team or not, we're just happy to see that Banyana is finally, taken its place in the world standards. And I think we just have to wish them well as they go to the World Cup, and hopefully they can give a good account of themselves.
Let's hope so. Well, we're certainly firmly behind Banyana. They've made history already, and we're sure they're going to continue to make us proud as soon as the action gets underway out in France. A big thanks to all of you for watching and following the action, talking to us as well on social media, and continuing to showcase your support for women's football. Long and onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. Looking forward to that big stage at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Great job today. Thank you so much, Amanda. All right, and that's how the team here at the Moses Mapida Stadium bids all of you farewell till the next time. Au revoir.
Sunrise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. What everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sunrise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way.
One already. Up my yard. One already.
We are going so much box for some Ready TV box. So how it go?
Get your Ready TV box today for only $6,500, including GCT. Get over 100 HD channels.
They have a thing called the RG Pack. We get JN RETV, TVJ Sports Network.
Starting as low as $50.
$50.
Get your box now for $6,500.
One already.
Now serving Kingston, St. Catherine, St. Mary, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, Manchester, and parts of Westmoreland, Trelawney, and St. Thomas.